Architecture is the art that everybody knows whether they realize it or not, because everybody has walked up a stairway, everybody has gone through a doorway. Maybe people know architecture because they've been oppressed by architecture. Maybe the doorway has been too narrow. Maybe the ceiling is too low. But the interesting thing about architecture is that it's the art. It's the art you know, not by studying, not by contemplating. It's the art you know by means of your body. It's the art you know by means of going through everyday life. We were asked to do a plaza in front of a performing arts center in Memphis. So we start from the building and then fling this roof out. It pulls itself down to make columns, and then pulls itself up so that now light shines through. It's mirrored inside. So when you're inside, can't quite get the sky here, but when you're inside, the sky is around you. So you're in a room of sky. Actually, right here, you see it better. The roof of the building, fling this out. Fling this fluid out. Light comes down, and in the same way, there might be spotlights on the stage inside the Performing Arts Center. Now there are rays of sun that make circles of light on the ground. You could enter the columns, you go inside the columns. What we wanted was we could have little places outside the Performing Arts Center so that if you didn't want to go into the institutional building, you could have little performance art centers for people. People could put on performances of their own. I mean, what our projects tend to do are, can people take space into their own hands? Instead of being told what to do, they can find something to do for themselves. Alessi, the Italian design company, asked us to do a coffee and tea set. We started by thinking that, could we have a coffee server, a tea server that only exists when there's liquid inside? So it would start from nothing. When you poured liquid, it would become a container. When you pour coffee out of the container goes down to nothing. So there's only a container as long as there's something to contain. But we haven't figured out how to do it. And we've been advised by a lot of people that it would involve so much research, so much material development that we probably can't do it. So we've kind of switched tactics here. I might start off a project with a general idea, with a general structure, but then we work together a lot, we talk a lot, we discuss, we argue. If something is meant to be public, it has to begin at least quasi-public, at least semi-public. If something begins privately with one person, then it probably ends privately. Where in these places do we need things to, keep you from bumping your head? But there's that beautiful scene in, I think it's in Godard's 2 or 3 Things I Know About Her, where there's a coffee cup on a table, and the camera slowly zooms into this coffee cup. First you see the exterior of the cup, and then you're in this kind of winding whirlpool of water. And in some ways, that's how we work. We want to make a whirlpool space that you're in the middle of, whether it's big or whether it's small, so you find your way around the whirlpool. Maybe you don't have to get lost in a whirlpool. Maybe a whirlpool can take you to a world that you never suspected.